Good morning. I grew up in Caserta, close to Naples, surrounded by people that thought that life was about working hard, about sacrifice, and about contentment with the poor quality of life of our city and with the public administration malfunctioning or very slow, and also with the lack of valorization of our beautiful resources, landscape, and monuments such as the Royal Palace of Caserta. All the people that surrounded me seemed to be content with the quality of services which I would define mediocre. They were complaining about it, but they thought that was a standard that could not be changed. And I didn't get it. It seemed as if they had put a cap on their own happiness. But wasn't the purpose of life to be happiness? Why were we accepting mediocre experiences rather than benefit from all the resources that we had to maximize our happiness? That was the moment that I started asking myself the question, in which world would I rather live in? One of pain or one of happiness? And as I kept asking myself the question, in which world would I rather live in, I suddenly gained an amazing clarity on my very own why. Why in 1997 I chose Tor Vergata, why in 2002 I chose the field of customer experience, and I've been so passionate about it ever since. I wanted to see and to bring more happiness into the world by improving the interactions between companies and customers. My dream is to live in a world where companies design and deliver products, services, and experiences which are meaningful and truly enrich people's life. A world in which the business models see companies, customers, and employees as human beings with a common shared goal, and more peaceful, healthier, happier life. We are all on the same journey. Why shouldn't we make this journey as extraordinary as possible as we can? So I started to think about the new business models and happiness-driven growth. But what is happiness? There are many definitions of happiness out there. One of my favorites that most resonates with me is the one from Gandhi. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. To which I had the following: and what we experience are in harmony. This is my son, having the time of his life on our first family cruise last year. For him, a week of pure happiness. For me, look at that rail, a week of pure anxiety, continuously worrying about how easily he could fall off this rail. That's the 12th point, by the way. And a week of feeling betrayed, because at the very moment of booking, I very specifically asked the company a guarantee that this boat had safe glass and not railing. We had already been customer of this company 7 years before during our honeymoon, and I was myself terrified by this railing. I could fit in it as well. Have you ever looked forward so much to an experience only to be then disappointed by the way that the company delivered it? I guess we have all been there. This is the reason why it seems so surprising to me that most of the research out there about happiness are concerned with the responsibility of the individual or of the government, and no one seems to be looking at the responsibility of the companies. I believe that while happiness it comes from within, and we can truly influence the way that we think and act to drive happiness, I believe that companies have the ability and even the responsibility to improve and to contribute to our happiness as well. Ultimately, companies are just an aggregation of people pursuing a common goal. Let's go back for a moment to the beginning of time. When the civilization started was the moment where men started to specialize work and divide work, started to put in place tribes and social aggregation. We have had the agrarian, the industrial, the information age, and since 2005, we are in the customer age. It is since the industrial age that production started to be one-to-many instead of one-to-one. It is since this age that companies started to deliver the products and services that we needed in our life, and that we started to work for companies in order to earn a living. It was now companies, not people anymore, that were delivering the services and experiences in our life. Going to the supermarket, taking a train, purchasing something online, changing a subscription, going on a cruise are all interactions with the company. And what are those interactions like? Let's take a moment to think about the most significant interaction that you had yesterday with a company. How did it make you feel? Frustrated, anger, sad, happy, delighted? What did you do as a consequence of that interaction? Did you complete the purchases or did you promise never to buy from that company again? Did you tell one person or many persons about it? And what was the impact on the rest of your day? Did it make your day or did it frustrate you? As you may have concluded, companies have a big interaction on our life. They influence a big part of our day, ultimately influencing our emotion, hence our happiness. I'm continuously thinking about the interaction that we have with company throughout the day because I continuously can see how they make me feel and how they could be different. At times, I even count the number of interactions that we have. And I've seen that on an average day, we have 12 interactions with company. At 10 minutes average each, that is 2 hours, 15% of our day interacting with companies. And this doesn't even include the time that we spend doing mobile banking, using the app of our iPhone, or using software on a computer that we need to work. Companies can deliver incredible, remarkable customer experience, and they can enable human-to-human interactions that is meaningful for both parties involved. And the most innovative companies out there are already delivering on this. Zappos has made delivering happiness their mission, and profitability has followed. The City Bin is an Irish company that has made garbage collection an incredibly happy and enriching experience for their customer. So companies can deliver that, and often they do, but not enough yet. Why? I see that companies are trying to get there, but they are stuck in models that do not support an happiness-driven growth. So what will? Over the past 10 years, I've been looking and analyzing thousands of survey responses to questions such as, how satisfied are you? Or how likely are you to recommend us to a friend? Next to the score question, customers could also leave comments, so I could run some qualitative analysis next to the quantitative. In order to transform data into insight, I've been applying a revised form model of the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Maslow stated that people are motivated by needs, and only when they have fulfilled a lower level of needs, they can move up to the next level of needs. On the boat, my safety needs were not met, so I could not truly enjoy any of the other needs or be happy. If we look at what I did, I applied this model on all the touch points that we had: customer service, technical support, sales, e-commerce, and even software usage. And I've seen that always the same pattern emerged. Customers, just like human beings, because guess what, they are, have the same set of needs. And it's only when, for example, the basic need of being able to get through the phone selection and talk to an agent can be met, that then they can move on to the next need on the top. Like, for example, hearing an agent that is really empathic, really understands the issue, and really cares to solve it. What we have also seen is that this level of needs has a correlation with the score that we would get in the survey. The higher level of needs was satisfied, the more we would get a score in the survey. And what we see, that also the survey have a correlation with loyalty. And indeed, companies use this to increase loyalty. But I believe we are barking up the wrong tree if we have loyalty as the goal. Let's think about your kids, your partners, or your friends. Is it loyalty what you're trying to maximize? Is it loyalty your goal, even that would mean that they are unhappy? No, what we're trying to maximize is their happiness, our common happiness. And it's only because they are happy that then they're also loyal. Loyalty is the consequence of happiness, just like revenue and profit are the consequences of customer choices, which are driven by happiness. So why is it that when it comes to business and companies, we are trying to maximize profit and loyalty instead of maximizing happiness? I believe it's because of two main challenges. One, happiness is an emotion, and two, we are unsure yet how to measure it. There is also direct correlation between those sets of needs and the emotions, because customers, people, we feel emotions. Companies still think that emotion is a taboo that should stay out of the office. But in the office and the customer, we are all people, and we have needs, and we want to feel happy. And when each of the level of this pyramid is satisfied, we move from sad, angerness, when needs are not satisfied, to relief, to trust, to friendliness, to happiness, when the top of the pyramid is reached. Happiness happens at the top of the pyramid. The rest, it's only functional. It's about meeting needs. What we've seen in the companies is that when applying this framework to analyze the data and then to plan, prioritize, and execute the actions, we saw that we got higher revenue, higher loyalty, even lower call center cost, and even lower employees' sickness. Why? Because we moved both the customers and the employees up to the pyramid. The customers, because we could really understand their needs and focus on any issue on the bottom that would hinder them from reaching the happiness. And the employees, because by giving them visibility on their comments and praise for their work, they really felt that they were making a difference in someone's life, that they were contributing on someone's happiness. And that made them also happy. When we operate at the top of the pyramid, we both maximize everyone's happiness and we contribute to business growth. So how do we know if we're operating at the top of the pyramid? We need to measure what matters. Today, companies are having in place all sorts of scores which are suboptimal because they do not focus on the top of the pyramid. Institutions and organizations are also trying to come up with happiness indexes, but they are too complex. Within companies, we need to keep it simple, actionable, and relevant. All we need to measure is the contribution to happiness. Wouldn't it be great if we were able to measure how much each interaction was contributing to the employee and to the customer happiness? Wouldn't it be a more meaningful score if we were able to say to our employees, let's improve the happiness contribution, knowing that because we have improved the happiness, profit and revenue will follow, hence proving that we can have an happiness-driven growth. In 5 years, I imagine companies, universities, schools, all competing for the highest happiness contribution award. If our purpose in life is to seek happiness and all we want is happiness, why are we building companies, schools, universities that maximize loyalty and profit instead? If our purpose in life is to seek happiness and all we want is happiness, why are we not building schools, university, municipality that maximize happiness and profit and loyalty follow as a result? I believe it boils down to one question. In which world would you all rather live in? Thank you.